Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a Charles Munch retrospective. After the popularity of my Stokowski retrospective, I figured, what the heck, because I have editions of all of these conductors that were issued before the big boxes. That's the key behind some of these things, just to see how their legacy was treated and what happened. Now, Charles Munch is an interesting case because he has a big Charles Munch box, which actually came out before I started this channel, so I didn't cover it here. And we may do it. Maybe that will be the climax of this entire series. But what I did have, and what we had to get, what did collectors do? Well, there were smaller Munch boxes. Like, I think I have a couple of them sitting right here, actually. Let me, there they are. Yep, that must be them. Yes, they had smaller boxes of little sniglets and things. There was Charles Munch conducts romantic masterworks, and he conducts late romantic masterpieces as opposed to romantic masterworks. I mean, it was silly. But there was 8 CDs and 7 CDs respectively. But of course he did much more than that. And there were individual titles on budgie labels and cheapy things. But then Japanese RCA did a Munch edition. And that's what I proposed to talk about here. It was about 30 discs, I think. I have 24 of them in a clump and the rest of them spread out by composer. But I'm just going to go through, a selection of these in a few videos so that we could just look at them and see how they did it. Because some of them were original, well, they're original jackets, but not original couplings necessarily, because they gave you more stuff. When they did the box, of course, they tried to make as many CDs as possible so they could charge more most of the time. I mean, it was all very inconsistent. So this is the Japanese RCA Munch Edition. See, there it is. Lots of Japanese things. It's upside down Japanese. No, that's right. Yeah. I don't know whether Japanese is upside down or right side up, but I'm not going to worry about it. It doesn't make any difference to me if I can't read it. So let's start with this. This one is Debussy, La Mer, Image for Orchestra, and the Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun. And that's exactly what you get here. Now, I was never a big fan of Munch doing La Mer. I think it was a little bit rough and ready. Personally, the Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun is great. It's beautifully done, and it's only 8 minutes and 55 seconds, which goes to show. Stokowski's, remember, was like 12 minutes. And a little piece like that, what you can do. But the Image are really good, and not well known in terms of the Munch discography. He did all 3 of them here, and this is a fun performance to listen to. It's really nice to hear. So that was good. Then we have this one. Munch and Piatigorsky. This is the Dvořák Cello Concerto, which is just splendid. And even better, Dvořák's 8th. Now, some people scream and yell about this performance because it uses what is supposedly a corrupt edition of the work. Yeah, it's not that corrupt. All things considered, you could do worse. It's a very exciting performance. It's marvelous, actually. Munch does tinker with the orchestration, or the edition tinkers with the orchestration in a couple of places. Particularly, in the finale, when the big climax is working up in the middle of the finale, when the big tune's going to come back, bam, bam, ba da 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 da. Everything's sort of da da ba 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 da ba 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 da da ba da ba. It's doing all that stuff. Well, the trumpets double the violins in a place. It's very exciting. The trumpet's going dee do ee. No one else does that. Whether it's corrupt or not, it works, as does this whole performance. It's splendid, absolutely splendid. I wish Munch had done more Dvořák. I really, really do. That would have been exciting. It would have been really nice. Then we've got, what's this thing here? Oh, this is classic stuff. It's mono, but we can survive that, can't we? It's good mono. The Honegger 2nd and 5th Symphonies. Honegger was a Munch specialty. I mean, he really conducted it with all the slash and burn and hack and attack and violence that the music needs. And the 5th is such a weird piece. It's subtitled D tre re, the 3 Ds, because each movement ends with a single D on the timpani quietly. That's the only thing the timpani plays. You sit there like this for the whole piece, and it's all going boopity 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 blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden you go beep, and it's over. each movement. Very odd. And then we've got, Bacchus and Ariane. Yeah, baby. I mean, Roussel was also something that Munch did fabulously well. This is a very exciting Bacchus and Ariadne suite. I wish these were in stereo. I wish he'd remade all of it. I wish he'd done tons more Roussel in Boston. It's kind of a shame that the RCA didn't care enough, or I don't know, somebody didn't care. And then we've got Milhaud and Poulenc. Oh, this is great stuff. We have La Création du Monde, which is beautiful, and then the Poulenc. We have Milhaud's Suite Provençale, which is fun to listen to. I mean, this is just delightful stuff. It's from 1950. Does it say 50? Oh, 60, pardon me. 61. Yeah, this is all stereo. And the Poulenc Concerto for organ, strings, and timpani, which I love. This is with who's the organist? It's Berg, what's his name? Berg Zemkochian. Yeah, fabulous Boston Symphony organ, and the fabulous Vic Firth on timpani. Yes, and Munch's performance is really exciting. You know, Poulenc makes it very clear in the score that the return of the opening da 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 da, you know, that business. Is supposed to be the tempo originally. Munch says, screw it, I'm doing it faster. And he does. Poulenc was actually of two minds about Munch as a conductor, because Munch's tempi tended to be kind of spontaneous. But that's exactly what we like about it. So this is a wonderful disc. Oh my goodness, Milhaud and Poulenc. Yeah, grab it if you can find it. And then finally, what's this last one? Oh, goodness gracious, Harold in Italy, along with Berlioz overtures. The overtures are Carnival, Beatrice, Roman Carnival, Beatrice and Benedict, Benvenuto Cellini, and the Corsair. This Corsair is a scorcher. It's one of the great Corsairs. It's beyond thrilling. Harold in Italy, actually an interesting performance. The final orgy is not quite as frenetic as people kind of like Munch to be. Usually people like him to whip it up to a frenzy. And it could be that, in the studio, sometimes he was a little bit more conservative than he was live. Live, anything could happen. I mean, you could just go crazy. But it's still a beautiful Harold in Italy. The precision in the finale is really quite admirable. I like it. I didn't have a problem with it, but there are more exciting versions of the finale. And it's with Harold Primrose. I think it is. Yes, Primrose. And, it's wonderful. Absolutely lovely. Well, William Primrose, who was Harold, beats me. Harold in Italy, I get it, with William Primrose. There we go. I sorted it out. So these are just 5 recordings. They give a good sense, I think, of what Munch was about. And see, none of these are in his late Romantic masterworks, I think. Or did Berlioz even make it into those boxes? Probably not. Just take a look. Just take a quick look, because let's see, Wagner, Tchaikovsky, Dvořák, Mahler. Okay, Dvořák 8 cello concertos in here. And then we've got Mendelssohn, Brahms, Schubert, no Berlioz. Of course not. Well, I mean, the truth is that there was a Munch Berlioz box. Actually, there were 2 of them. They came out more than once. So they treated his Berlioz separately because it was one of his great specialities. So I guess that's fair. Anyway, a little bit of Munch. Why not? Brighten your day. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.